The dawning 3-week holiday event is in full swing in Destiny 2, adding a new icy Memento and aggressive arc glaive. This is your definitive guide for the event, going over the basics, how to get that Memento, farms for currencies and loot, tips for the event challenges, and weapon rolls to chase, with timestamps for each section. Now let's dive in. To start, head to Eva Levante in the tower to get the intro quest. It is all self-contained, so no need to leave the tower to get ingredients. Upon picking up the quest, you'll get some ingredients in the holiday oven. Now go to your quest tab, click on your oven, and bake a cookie for Zavala. If this is your first event, the game will give you some extra tooltips to guide you through the process of baking and claiming your event challenges. Once you return to Eva, you'll get some spirit to buy your first event upgrade, get your boon of friendship, and then be on your way. Before you leave the tower, there is a few more things you should do. Eva will hand you 2 quests. The first acts as a guided tutorial to bake each vendor a cookie. This is optional and is mainly to guide new players on the baking process. The second, Winter Night, is the quest for the new dawning Memento. If Eva doesn't offer this quest, go back to orbit and then load back into the tower. That should fix it. Then grab the Starfarer 7M ship. Players that don't have it can purchase it on Eva's 3rd page for 100 legendary shards. You also need its upgrade, which is yet another 100 legendary shards. Veteran players, you can just reclaim the ship from collections. The reason you want this ship is that it'll passively give you Dawning Spirit when you get other ingredients, making it quicker to buy upgrades and focus gear. After that, pick up those weekly bounties for a big chunk of bright dust and currency, and make sure your consumables inventory has some space. This is where your Essence of Dawning, Gifts in Return, Mementos, and all cookies will go. Then, make sure you masterwork your oven. This will reduce the essence required to 10 for making each cookie. To masterwork the oven, you need to have made every type of cookie. So veteran players, you should be able to immediately. New players, just follow the Cookie Delivery Helper quest. Now, let's go over the different currencies and upgrades. Defeating enemies by different means will drop uncommon and rare ingredients, which will get stored automatically in your oven. To know where ingredients come from, hover over them in the holiday oven. They'll describe how they drop and display how many of that ingredient you have. It is still RNG, so not every kill will get you an ingredient. Upon completion of most activities, you'll be rewarded with Essence of Dawning. Generally speaking, the harder the activity, the more essence you get. On screen is a handy list of essence values for most common activities. Do note that values fluctuate slightly. Once you have those 3 types of currencies, you can make different cookies for each of the vendors. Open your oven, and whatever cookie is highlighted, you can bake. Hovering over cookies will also show what ingredients are needed and how much you have if you want to make multiple cookies. As a reminder, your baked goods will go to your inventory, with excess going to your postmaster. Upon delivery of these cookies to their associated NPC, you'll get some new currency and loot. Guaranteed with each cookie given is 3 Dawning Spirit. That currency, which is stored in your holiday oven and displayed when hovering over it, is used to purchase upgrades at Eva and for event weapon focusing. Eva's upgrades improve the efficacy of snowballs, add additional currencies to bounties, and then unlock and improve weapon focusing. More on that later. The other items you get from delivering cookies are a chance at world drop items, upgrade materials, and a gift in return. This special gift can be opened for a small chunk of XP with a chance at Glimmer, Cores, Prisms, upgrade modules, and the new Memento, but only after you complete the Winter Night quest. These gifts are also used as currency to obtain event weapons, so decide before you open them. If you want weapons, keep them for focusing. Want the new Memento, then open after you complete the quest. Alright, we know the basics, now let's get to farming. Everything revolves around baking cookies, so you want to optimize your build to match the enemies you're facing. An example is the enemies at the entrance to the Grasp of Eververse dungeon. There, Hive will keep spawning forever. If we look at some cookies that require chitin powder, we find that Bright Dust and Snowballs requires multifaceted flavor, so multi-kills, and Etheric Cold Snaps require electric flavor, or arc kills. For max efficiency, you want an easy arc multi-kill weapon, so likes of Trinity Ghoul, Risk Runner, and Thunderlord would do well. However, the limiting factor to cookie making is usually Dawning Essence, so I highly recommend just playing the activities you want to do and switch up your loadouts every now and then to get a wide variety of ingredients. For that Dawning Essence, let's look back at that handy chart I made. Again, play the mode you like most for fun and loot, and you'll get a decent amount of essence. If you are just in it to farm essence for those cookies and loot, then you have a couple options. For solo players, running Legend or Master Lost sectors is the quickest and most rewarding. Around 20 essence on top of the updated rewards for Lost sectors, which entails enhancement cores and prisms, gunsmith engrams, exotics, and specific world drop weapons. These are 1830 plus activities, so only really attempt them if you're around 1810. If you want to go even faster, you could bring a friend or two, just know you won't get those traditional Lost Sector rewards. Another equally great farm is that of the final boss of any raid or dungeon. Upon activity completion, you get around 20 essence. The fastest option is that of the Shattered Throne final boss, as she can go down in less than a minute. But if you value overall loot, look to the weekly featured dungeon or Warlord's Ruin, as that way you'll still get dungeon loot on successive completions. This week is Pit of Heresy, and even though it is old and not Artifice, the armor that drops is one of the best in the game due to how its intrinsic stat focusing works. Otherwise, Strikes, Gambit, and Riven Slayer are casual alternatives, granting decent amount of essence per minute, are match-made, and offer great activity loot. Now bake those cookies and deliver them to vendors to get those gifts in return and Dawning Spirit. Speaking of which, let's talk about them since they are also the currency for upgrades and weapon focusing. Looking at this year's data, you have a roughly 17% chance of getting a gift in return from turning in cookies. Because you're also always getting 3 spirit when turning in cookies, you should get about 18 spirit for every gift in return you receive. Couple this with a few passive spirits from earning ingredients while you have the Starfarer 7M ship equipped, and you should always be able to specific focus weapons at Ava. Of course, you first have to purchase those upgrades. That's gift wrapped exchange to purchase festive engrams for a chance at any dawning weapon, and limited exchange ticket to focus specific weapons. However, before you focus any gifts into weapons, unlock the Perky and Perkier Presence upgrades, as they grant focused dawning weapons a chance to have an extra perk in either column. More perks, the better chances at getting your God Roll, or perhaps getting 2 God Rolls in one. So early on as you are baking cookies and doing bounties, use your spirit to buy all of Ava's upgrades. Then, focus away. Alright, let's talk about that new Memento. Like the most recent Festival of the Lost, players can unlock a new Memento by completing a short quest. That quest, Winter Night, tasks you to get 75 Snowball Final Blows, 25 upgraded Snowball Final Blows, and deliver 1 classic butter cookie to Ava. Upon doing so, return to Ava and she'll reward you with a new Dawning Memento. Head to the Enclave and slide it into a crafted weapon to apply the Snowball Kill Tracker, Winter Night title, and equip the Rhyme Keepsake Shader. Ooh, so icy and blue. For those upgraded Snowball kills, you need the first 3 Snowball upgrades in the bottom row: Long Winter, Longer Winter, and Stay Frosty. 60 spirit in total, so farm some by delivering cookies and having the Starfarer ship equipped. Now to get even more mementos, you'll have to open gifts in return. Unfortunately, it is a low drop chance. For me, I got one after like 15 gifts, but I've seen others get mementos back to back. That's RNG. If it is like the previous event Memento, I suspect the drop rate to be around 10%. So if this is what you really want from the event, then farm cookies so you can get gifts. And remember, you can only hold 1 memento in your inventory at a time. So make sure you use the one you got so you can get another one to drop. If you want to technically hoard multiple mementos, make sure you don't have one and then have a full inventory. When you get one to drop, it'll go to your postmaster. Now, let's look at the event challenges, the completion of which will reward copies of the event weapons, a unique shader and exotic ship, several upgrade materials, and some spirit and gifts in return. The challenges are all pretty straightforward, just a bit time consuming. A series of challenges tasks you to bake each type of cookie. For simplicity, either follow the cookie delivery helper quest, or just go down the line. For the elemental defeat challenges, you are asked to earn 800 points for each type of element, with points worth 5 times the value in PvP. But it is generally easier to get lots of kills in PvE, so if you're being efficient, try to do so in strikes, gambit, or seasonal activities. Whenever you complete one of them, swap your loadout to a different element. For the snowball related ones, they are a little different this year. No longer are there piles of snowballs on different locations. Now, in Vanguard Ops and Patrolable Destinations, you get the Snowstorm buff, where defeating any enemy by any means has a chance to spawn a snowball. When you unlock the Gift That Keeps On Giving upgrade, Shuddering Frozen Companions can cause them to drop snowballs. This then allows you to spawn snowballs in Legend Lost sectors and Nightfalls, where previously the Snowstorm buff didn't occur. Snowballs are also weaker this year and upgrades are currently bugged, so getting kills are a bit difficult. My tip is just to chuck them when you are in a pile of enemies. For the Gilding Triumphs, again nothing too bad. The longest one will be getting 2,000 Dawning Weapon kills, so make sure to use them over the course of the event. For the optimal route, do 6 strikes, 3 gambit matches, swap up your elemental weapons when you complete a challenge, and just focus on the activities you want to play. Like all events, you have an upgraded event card to consider, along with items in the Eververse store. Now the upgraded card is 1,000 silver and gives you access to special cosmetics right away, with a few unlocked by completing other event challenges. Only you can decide if this is worth it, so look things over and be happy with your decision. Just know, this is all optional. You do not need to pay for the upgraded event card to participate in the Dawning, get event weapons, or complete the event challenges. Paying is only for these special items. That's it. Additionally, each week items will rotate in the Bright Dust section of Eververse, so check back to scoop up some nice cosmetics, as well as there are the new armor ornament sets, along with the collection of prior year's sets. These are 6,000 dust each, or purchasable for 1,500 silver. The Dawning IMO is one of the best times to farm Bright Dust for cosmetics or to replenish your stash. The weekly bounties each give 200 dust, and the repeatables just ask you to bake a specific cookie. After playing the event for a week, you should have a wide variety of ingredients, so just pick up those repeat bounties, bake the required cookie, and profit. My last year's PSA on this is still good, so click here if you want more info. Let's round things out with the event weapons. Again, to purchase these you'll need to use Dawning Spirit and gifts in return as currency. 10 Spirit for the generic focusing option, 25 for specific weapon. And before you focus, make sure you have the Perky and Perkier Presence upgrades for double perks. As to what weapons are worth chasing, that's kind of up to you. I always recommend to look at the perks to see if there's something you like, as my god rolls are possibly different from yours. So let's go through the perks and I'll throw in my thoughts. Albedo Wing is the second ever aggressive glaive, this time in Arc. Notable perks are Close to Melee for high damage, Lead from Gold for ammo efficiency, Grave Robber to reload on melee kill, and Replenishing Aegis to reload while blocking. A new and unique perk is Beacon Rounds, which makes your projectiles track, but only after a projectile kill. Seems interesting, don't think it is a must-have, but a perk worth testing out. Avalanche is another solar machine gun with nice utility perks like auto-loading holster, subsistence, and under-over in the left column, with pretty much all perks in the right column worth grabbing. My highlights are Incandescent and Adrenaline Junkie for Ad Clear based builds. Looking at the Cold Front SMG, you have a good perk combo like Unrelenting and Frenzy for a well-rounded PvE role. Unfortunately, I've never been a fan of it with its low stability. Glaciocasm has some excellent perks for PvE like the combo of Overflow and Controlled Burst, and the combo of Under Pressure and High Impact Reserves for PvP. It is a high impact, so very long charge time, but if you can overcome it, it'll treat you well. For the Stay Frosty Lightweight Pulse, you have Killing Wind to give it even more range, mobility, and handling, along with excellent perks like Headstone, Kill Clip, and Headseeker on the right column. Lastly, Zephyr is currently the only stasis sword, so be on the lookout for that Cold Steel perk, as it applies slow on hit, making it very useful against Overload and unstoppable champions. It is also an adaptive sword, which is the meta for DPS, so look for Relentless Strikes in Whirlwind or Surrounded role as well. And that's your Dawning Guide for 2023. Some remaining tips and a quick summary. Make sure you equip your upgraded Starfarer 7M ship, obtain your Holiday Oven on your alt characters at Ava, masterwork your oven as soon as you can to reduce the essence cost to 10, visit Ava each day for a Boon of Friendship, which can use to get bonus loot from activity completions, use a variety of elements to progress those event challenges, look at the easiest combo cookie to make based on what activities you are running, grind Legend Lost sectors or dungeon final bosses for Essence of Dawning, and have fun. It is a chill 3-week event, so make sure you take it easy, have a good time, and may Ava bless you with good RNG for those mementos and god rolls. Let me know what rolls you are chasing down in the comments. And if you liked today's video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future guides. Then, come check out the Sundial Gaming Discord if you want to meet other Guardians explore Destiny 2. As always, I am your Commander Pika. Be kind, have fun, and I'll see you on the battlefield.